Hey everybody, welcome to TV Chef Fantasy League, the podcast that's got everyone dancing on their countertops and then falling off of said countertops. I'm your host, Commissioner Mike Cablon. With me are my co-hosts, Kato and Ifiwaniwe.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we all feel that was real because when it happened, was like, did that seem fake? And then we saw her limping, and we were like, oh, nope, that was real.
When her head went over the back of the counter,
That
I
was a
thought,
scary
oh,
moment.
God, that's
Yeah.
a neck thing, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, let's be careful.
If you fall on an elbow, whatever, who cares? You fall on your neck,
it might be
you could be done.
It could be death.
I remember seeing like a comment, like a meme comment a long time ago that was like one of my least favorite features of the human body is like you can... Throughout history, there have been humans who have like been shot, stabbed, blown up. You cut off a limb, they still go on to live pretty normal lives. But on the other hand, some people just fall out of bed wrong and they die.
Well, yeah.
No
I think that was the thing people would always say about Christopher Reeves, right? Like, people fall off of horses all the time.
Yeah.
And he just was paralyzed after doing it.
He got like the $1 million baby deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jeez. Oh,
what
man.
a note to start on.
Hey, didn't happen this time. That's good.
I did think that the funniest bit was she got back and she's like, well, here's what I meant to do. And they're like,
Yeah.
don't do it again.
Yeah, we're good.
Because also it feels like her and Noel just go off and just kind of do what they want. And they,
no one's
like,
watching them.
Yeah, they're just off. They're off to the races, and I feel like there was a talking to after this was like, stop doing that. Don't.
Our insurance is not that good.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the bakers like being stressed and like two people having fun. I'm always like stressed watching them. Like, God, can you guys not have so much fun? Because I'm stressed.
There is a version of this that is its own TV show, which is people trying to do a task very seriously, and simultaneously there's like a literal clown there, trying to like honk their nose while they're trying to like do brain surgery or whatever.
We might need to get Val to cut that out and pitch that
That's
tomorrow.
right. Yeah, that's my new.
That is funny because I think you can set up two unknown teams where there's the team of the distractors who are like active, because I think there's an element where without like, if the distractors know they're up against these people, but the people who are doing it don't know, there's less of a resistance. Where if you knew it was like someone's coming in to distract you, and if they win, they'll win the money if you win. But if it's like, hey, you just need to do this without getting distracted, your guard's down a little bit, and it allows them to kind of throw some wrenches in there.
It is now occurring to me. Did you guys watch Holy Moly?
No.
The name sounds super familiar.
It was a mini golf show.
Yes.
Steph Curry and like Rob Riggle. And that was one, like every hole had like a gimmick, and one of them was the distractor, and it was literally just like, it's just a straight putt, but then the wall turns around and it was something new every time. It was like a bunch of jugglers or whatever, and it was just like they would try and distract you. Yeah. That was all it was. Anyway, okay, speaking of Noel and Allison having no oversight, this came up a couple weeks ago where we asked, are there writers on the show? And our intrepid producer, Val, did some research. She dove into the credits, and she tried to find writers. She did not find any credited writers.
Here we go.
She did find 2 story producers. And look, American production, those titles are very specific. The names mean specific things. Once you go into other countries, things go off. The story producer could be anything. I don't know if that means that's like the editor cutting it together. We don't know if that's like a person on set. But there are story producers, so those could be writers. Here's where things get interesting. Val also flagged a couple other interesting things in the credits here. First of all, there's a staff psychotherapist. Lynn Greenwood is there, I guess, to console people after they cry, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Make sure they don't take that anger from the tent back home to their families.
Yeah.
The technical bakes, so like when Paul and Prue are sitting and they're like eating the demonstration, you know what I mean? They're like, here's what a perfect version looks like. That's not made by Paul and Prue. It is made by 3 home economists.
Ooh.
Home economics experts. This episode, the home economists were Georgia May, Becca Watson, and Victoria Onions.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if that's a stage name or not, knowing what their job is.
Because when you think of, like, the etymology of last names, it's like, oh, yeah, Smith, it's like because your ancestors were blacksmiths. Or, like, Frankson, it's like because your father was Frank.
Yeah.
What is onions?
She descends from onions, I guess. I mean, but also 3 people to make the one pie?
That's true. That's a good,
Seems like too many cooks.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it's like they all get credited every episode, but they rotate. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm guessing.
I could see
Again, British credits are all wacky.
Let's go on to the next name.
Because you already know what's coming.
Yeah.
Here's the big one. We were all, so the viewers know, the listeners know, we were texting about this week. The group chat went off. The Great British Baking Show has a camera operator named Damien Eggs.
Damien
That
Eggs.
is not a real person. That is not a real person.
So good.
That is an imaginary friend.
Eggs.
Damien.
Once again, what was your job in the small village where they gave you your last name? We're like, oh yeah, Dan Baker and Damien Eggs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He harvested
He did the eggs?
Maybe
He laid the eggs?
he's a descendant of the first person who was like, wait, these chickens aren't pooping. These chickens aren't pooping. This isn't white poop.
What if we eat them before they become chickens?
Yeah. What if they eggs? Eggs.
If your last name is Eggs, you have to be baking adjacent with your job, right?
Yeah.
Like he was like, I'm gonna be a camera operator. Can I get on the British Baking Show? And they saw his resume and they're like, you're in.
He has also worked on the British MasterChef.
Oh my God! So like the food shows are his beat.
Yeah.
Chef, bake, all uses eggs.
Got to give you a shout out for that pun. Great job there.
What?
These food shows are his beat. You beat eggs.
Oh my God!
Shoot, I missed that one.
I'm so good it just comes out of me and I don't even know.
It's just second nature.
Yeah,
there.
so wild. I cannot believe it. Also, have y'all been watching GBBO, or is this everyone's first foray?
No. I've been watching it. I've watched every season.
Okay, so you knew something I didn't realize is that they get to practice.
Yes.
And that's why, so they're referring to practicing it because they have, I always thought they were like, when I'm doing this like dish at home.
Oh, like in life.
Like in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, they everything except for the blind cook, they get it ahead of time to practice.
Yeah.
And that changes things. I still hate that engineering came into it, but it's not as crazy.
Right.
Knowing that people
they didn't show up on the day and they're like, surprise, I hope you have wood with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Let's get out
Yeah.
those
Which also
levels.
makes it funnier for Nellie, meaning that she had all that time and still was like, the tree.
She's like, I'm not preparing.
Yeah.
I got 2 boys to raise.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna wing it. I'll get in there. I know how to
It's
bake.
true,
Yeah, what was that fairy tale of the woman who lived in a shoe? Like, that's how I imagine her house is with all these children.
Yeah.
True. She did have things to do when you go
Yeah.
home,
Look.
as opposed to some other people who just get to be kids.
Yeah.
Not pointing any fingers, not
Yeah,
naming
there
any
are
names. Some people just get to be children,
kids
literal
themselves.
children.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking Dylan goes home and logs on a Fortnite. It's just...
Do you think he's a gamer? He doesn't strike me as a gamer.
No, well, I was so excited to come into this episode because
Here we go.
it's almost like it's a story that we and the show are telling, because all of this nerd shit we kept bringing up,
Yeah.
and seeing him go crazy about Star Wars,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, well, I already
Yeah,
know
there
what
it
we're going to be
is.
talking about.
The proof
did really.
is in the pudding,
Yeah.
or in the
Nerd who just
peripheral.
discovered he's hot. I need Dylan to post high school photos. Like,
Yeah.
I
Right.
need to know.
I feel like this is your pilot. You got to write this.
Yeah.
The journey of a nerd who discovered he's hot.
You saw that I tagged him in my cake photo. So, quick thing. I was grieving. I had a friend pass away, which is said in a very thrown away way, but it's
Very serious, but we don't have time to unpack
Yeah, we
that
don't
here.
have time.
Not a therapy
We've
pod.
talked about it. We don't have time. Em was having friends over they were going to play Magic the Gathering Commander, and I was like, and we were in Five Below, and there was a cake stand with a bow under it, and she was like, oh, that's nice, but it's unnecessary, and I was like, no, I'll bake a cake. I'll bake a cake to validate doing it, and then I found out that one person didn't eat milk or couldn't have
Sure,
milk,
yeah.
and then the other person was vegan. I was like, I'll make a vegan cake.
Okay.
And I gotta say, I gotta put a little respect on some of these British bakers because that cake, it was good,
Not
but
great.
the frosting of it, I don't think I have the right tools. I told Em, and she blocks me on a lot of things because she knows I have ADHD, where I'll find a new hobby and buy all the
Yeah,
materials for it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think I need a cake spinner and then the
Oh, sure.
and
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
and the
So you can
flattener.
smooth it.
And she was
Yeah.
like, you can use a spatula.
Yeah,
You
a
cannot
spatula and a
use-
lazy Susan.
Oh.
You cannot use a spatula because
Turntable.
the rounded edge.
Put the cake on your record player.
There you go.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
glad
See,
to
I
know
should have
that.
done that.
Yeah.
That I should have done. But the spatula, because of the rounded edge, it would like bring up the frosting
Oh,
onto
yeah,
the other
yeah,
side instead
yeah.
of just straight flattening, and it was frustrating me. And also, Em told me, because I made compote for the middle, she was like, just put a little bit in the middle.
Yeah.
because if you put too much, when you put it down, it's going to spread out. And I was like, yeah, okay, I got this. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, she was right.
Yeah, I should have listened. I should have also, there's a lot of things, but I can't wait to bake.
Oh, wait, okay, hold on. So you tagged Dylan. Did he respond? Did he see it? Was he like, you messed up?
Yeah, no. And I had a theory about this too, because British people with like fame and like notoriety, they do not care.
Sure.
So I was like, because usually, a little blue check might get some interest.
That gets me in. Yeah.
Yeah, but Dylan has yet to respond. Also, I've just realized he's in London. He might be asleep. So
so this just happened.
Yeah. This was today at 11 a.m., which
it's fully like 1 a.m. there. So
well, yeah. So
right now,
I'll report next week if Dylan kind of shouts me back out.
How many followers is he at right now, and does he have a blue check?
So when I looked in the message, it said he had 68. And then when I clicked on his page, he's already 69.3.
Oh, so it's going up by the second.
Yeah. He's getting hotter. I mean, and look at this picture. This is the sluttiest thing a man can post.
That really is.
This is look at these eyes. You can't tell me. You can't tell me.
That's a very like GQ pose. It's like lean over and fold your hands.
Slight poutiness.
The hands are close. The eyes
these
are,
deranged. Sad. These deranged comments, baby.
Oh
no! Give us the horniest comment. Just at a quick scroll.
We don't have to credit anybody.
Here we go.
Christian left a comment.
Oh, here we go.
Said, puppy eyes incoming, heart eyes, smiley face. Ha ha. Well done, mate. You absolutely smashed it.
Christian, you are partnered, sir.
Oh my gosh, let's break some partnerships up, because what is this?
Oh boy.
What is this? What is this? I would love to show you. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. What a face. I hope you open a bakery one day so I can try all these flavors.
Ooh, that is titillating.
Dylan, your face makes my soul sing.
Wow. These are all comments left by
Prue.
Yeah, no one's really commenting on the cake.
Look.
Just.
Oh yeah, this is great. Yeah. Everyone's talking about how hot he is.
Of course, that's the story.
The main event.
Yeah. He's entering that like hot people prison where just like he can't be taken seriously for his actions or his work.
Right,
it's just people are just gonna look at his face.
Yeah.
Pretty face.
Anyway, okay.
So sad for him.
Oh, okay. Before we move on I do want to talk about his outfit because I thought it was cute. It's 1970s week, and everyone, I think someone in the group chat was like, we should all dress like it's the 70s.
Yes.
And 3 of them were like, okay. Jill went, I'm from the 70s. I'm going to wear a T-shirt and jeans.
Okay, yeah. She's already comes dressed.
And then I think Dylan went, what's the 70s? And then he Googled it, and he kind of got it right.
Yeah.
He wore velvet, and they were like, it's really hot. And he's like, I know, I'm really hot.
Velvet turtleneck underneath another layer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Non-breathable.
Honestly, it felt like he was kind of doing like he was going to go for the rock turtleneck thing, and he was like, oh, that's the 80s. Let
me dial it back by adding in velvet. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so it's 1970s week. Prue said that the 70s get a bad rap, and I was like, look, maybe it's different in the UK, but I don't know who's out here ragging on the 70s.
Yeah.
I love the 70s.
What was going on over there? Who knows?
I also don't culinarily know what was happening in the 70s.
Yeah, this was
barely here in America, let alone in the UK.
I know. I was like, oh, Twiggy? But Twiggy actually modeled in the 60s. So.
Wow, so we're still not even close. Yeah. But they were like, the profiteroles are very 70s. I was like, are they?
Sure.
Yeah,
I believe it, but I mean.
Also, I would call them cream puffs.
We would here in America.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
same with like croquembouche. It's like we would just call that a big old pile here. We didn't have names for things.
The use of croquembouche. Yeah.
Croquembouche.
The signature challenge was to make a sort of croquembouche, a stack of 30 profiteroles or 30 cream puffs. Christian made something called the I Got Shoe Babe, which no one ever said out loud, and I think that's real.
Also, I looked up I Got You Babe, and that is from the 60s.
Really? Is it like 69 is like right on the line?
65.
65.
Well, I think because I Googled it because I remember, I grew up listening to like these 60s CDs that my parents always had.
Yeah.
And like that was on there. So I was like, I'm pretty sure they didn't have 70s CDs. Let me check. And then it was, I think it was 1965.
That's so weird because it feels like the 70s.
Yeah,
you know what
so
I mean?
maybe it took a little bit to take off.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Some people, they come up with an album and then it doesn't become popular till later.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Okay.
Because
when I picture them performing that song, I picture like bell bottoms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I guess it's like 60s into 70s.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I mean, I guess, yeah, it's all bleeds into each other.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah, we wear flannel today. The 90s don't own flannel.
Yeah. It's not theirs.
That's true.
I'll wear a leather Matrix-style jacket any day. It's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie
Oh,
XCX
I'm
brought
sure.
it back.
Oh, yeah.
Anything from then, yeah.
Christian's I Got Shoe Babe was a Black Forest Gâteau with chocolate, Kirsch cherry, and Namalaka, which is somewhere between a ganache and a mousse. Had never heard of it. You guys familiar with it?
No.
No.
Christian really introduced us to a lot this episode.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out for him, but
Poor guy, man. I really feel for him. He tries his best.
he really does, and it's a look. He's on my team. I'm rooting for him, but I think it's a miracle that he's still around.
Truly,
I don't know.
truly. I know. Yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Sure.
Christian added more eggs to his shoe batter, and that was a mistake. They were not rising; they were all flat. So he started over. So that's an extra half point there.
Yes.
And he was pressed for time as a result. He was filling and building at the same time. He had some that were still good, so he tried to reuse them. Dylan offered to help 3 times, like a little genie.
That's what they do. That's right.
Yeah.
I counted because he kept going like, how can I, because he was done.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And finally, Christian relented. So Dylan gets 1 point for helping a fellow baker.
That's because Dylan was watching. He's like, I got to do this for Iffy. I got to do this. I need this. Can I
I
help
won't
you?
respond to his DMs, but I know
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. He might be like, hey, man, you're doing great stuff.
We should collaborate.
Yeah. Me, you,
yeah.
Amanda, we're getting together. We're building
Oh,
a
wow.
team.
The dream team.
The freaky chef.
The Freaky Chef Dream Team.
The freaky chef dream team.
We're all coming on.
A cookie?
Yes. That's not what I was going to say,
What?
but yes.
Yeah, because
Sure.
for some reason there's a weird recess of my brain knowing that's attached to some either meme or event where someone came on a cookie and it was a big
Oh.
deal. Probably
I
a
was-
frat
Interesting.
hazing.
What I
thing.
was going to say was the name of whatever cooking show you were on last, but I couldn't think of it, and I petered out. We're all going to come on your show
Yeah.
was the thrust of the sentence, and you
Oh.
went to come on a cookie.
Yeah, okay, well,
Hey,
yeah, sorry. I
yeah,
apologize
there's
once again to
many-
the class listening.
We tag this
Many
podcast is not
options.
for kids. If you're offended, that's your fault. It's fully on you.
Yeah. We said come your skeleton out at some
Yeah.
point.
Come Your
So,
Skeleton
you
Out was
know-
our
you know
Halloween
what you're
episode.
getting.
Yeah, that's the bar we're at. Anyway, Christians, they said they looked good, they were attractive, quite boozy, but it all worked together. He pulled it off.
Yeah.
He took a risk starting
Yeah.
over, and it paid off. Everyone's over here going gaga over Dylan. I'm like, give Christian his flowers. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dylan, we started talking about this, made his sci-fi profiterole stack, nougatine banana salted caramel, based on Star Wars, which is his favorite thanks to his dad. He said the stack was inspired by a droid. Val and I had the same question on this. Which droid? Didn't look like any
droid.
discernible
Right.
droid
No,
I've ever
it
seen in
was-
the Star
droid.
Wars
It was
universe.
a made-up droid.
Sounds
that
like a
doesn't
droid to me.
exist, But
It's just droid. Maybe he hit you with that. These are not the droids you're looking for, and that's why you and Val couldn't.
He wiped the droid
yeah,
from my
yeah.
memory.
From you and Val's memory.
I looked really hard. I looked really, really hard.
Honestly, it more looked like the robot from MST3K.
Yeah, a little
'Cause
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a wide, almost
Yeah.
like a Hey Arnold shaped.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
very cartoonish. I mean, I could see that it's like shapes together. Like droids often are like 2 shapes put together. So
Sure.
Like, BB-8 is like 2 circles.
Yeah, okay,
And
yeah.
then, there's like a half circle and a rectangle for R2D2.
Keep going.
You know,
Do all of them.
If you flatten everybody, so in that sense, maybe. But I
C3PO,
also saw
like
that.
a,
Two
a
different-
human shape
that's
and
an
a human shape
anthropological.
smushed together.
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
But I do think it. I think he switched it to sci-fi instead because I feel like even if he
Yeah,
went
yeah.
Star Wars, it would have been like, well, what from Star Wars?
Right,
It's
exactly.
like this is like generally a sci-fi.
A
shape.
droid. Yeah.
Well,
I went to his most because he apparently does this puppy dog look for every
Oh my
episode.
That's
God.
his
Oh
default.
my
Yeah,
God.
wow.
And so I was looking for a comment that was like, yo, what droid?
Yeah.
I was
Oh
hoping they'd
my
be like,
God.
yo, what droid were you talking about? Because I don't know which one. But no, it's still horny moms
Oh my god.
and other.
He has to make like a calendar.
I like that
it's the
this,
same pose over and over again.
This
but with
is,
his different
you know,
face.
This is me and Dylan share the same demo, and I think that's why I find a kindred ship. Horny moms and a bunch of gay men. Like, it's just, like, that is it. There's a lot more goths in my comments, but that's as, by design.
Wow. Okay.
But it is, like, some hot-ass gay dudes, too. Like, damn. Like, oh, with the little piercing, bro. Okay, I see you.
Oh, wow, we're on.
Yeah, look.
We're going to do a whole bonus content episode where it's just you reacting to social media. We won't tell the audience what you're looking at.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the quiz. I will make a sound, and y'all will have to guess what I'm looking at.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, I love it. Make this your next show. Okay, so Dylan is doing sci-fi. I wrote that Noel made a joke about Showgirls, and you could just tell on his face he's never heard of Showgirls.
Yeah, I know. It was so funny when just them trying to realize, like, oh, this kid is so young.
He's so young.
Yeah.
But it's 70s week. Look up the top, 20 movies of the 70s. Nope, never heard of Showgirls.
Star Wars.
I'm going to be wrong on this. Did Showgirls come out in the 80s?
Let's look.
Okay. While you're looking that up, they said his bake was good enough to be seen in a London department store. They gave him a handshake. Another handshake for Dylan.
You could tell.
Yeah, everyone. You can tell everyone was mad. Showgirls was 1995.
95?
Yes.
Why do I feel like that's so much older than it is?
I feel like
it's supposed to take place
because I feel like it felt old even when we were growing up.
Yeah.
But I think it was because we were just so young.
Yeah, is it a period piece? I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so now we're all looking it up. This is very sorry.
I won't look it up.
Sorry to Val, who has to edit all this out. No, it doesn't say anything about time period.
Yeah.
Okay, just 95. Wow. I am dumb. Okay. Paul said he was sick of giving handshakes to Dylan, but he gave it nonetheless. Georgie made a tribute to Freddie, and it was a little queen-shaped, a Freddie Mercury-shaped figure on top of a croquembouche.
But it kind of looked like the Jordan Jumpman a little bit.
Oh.
Like that's what
I've never
feeling.
noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also the Hamilton. You know.
That too. I mean,
Hamilton, Jordan, and Freddie Mercury. It's all kind of
one arm raised.
Yeah.
Legs split.
Sort of.
I'm sure that
slender.
like an old person would be like, there was also an old politician in the 40s who used that pose. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sure it's
it's a popular silhouette.
Yeah, no one's got a trademark on putting one arm up in the air. 2 flavors, dark chocolate and salted caramel, and a white chocolate and coconut. It had a bit of a lean, but they said it looked good flavors. Ilyine made her ode to the 70s afro, and I love this. Also 2 flavors, raspberry and white chocolate, and caramel and hazelnut. Allison was really vibing with the theme here. I love to see that kind of sisterhood where she was like, Ilyine was like, like this was a time when black women could like wear their hair natural, and Allison was just like, yes.
Yeah, it was great. That was a good moment. I was like, hell yeah.
But then Allison had this moment where she's like, do you want to do 70s moves with me? And Ilyine was like, no.
I'm trying to bake here.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make me dance. Stop trying to make dance happen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ilyine started leaning, structurally not sound, but they said it was good colors, good flavors, good pastry. And Jill made her 70s Christmas tree profiterole stack, chocolate and hazelnut. She told the story about how when her parents first got married, they bought this Christmas tree in the 70s, and Jill has that same tree now. I'm going to call that a dedication. To say this is like based on the tree from my parents, I'm going to say that's dedicated to her parents. And we know from a previous episode, we're awarding points to her dad for being dead.
Yes.
Okay.
Because she does have a post that's like, I miss you, in reference to dad. So we're going to assume that he is
probably.
dead. So that is a half point.
Could be lost at sea, but okay.
He could be lost at sea. We don't know.
Yeah. But in some ways that's dead.
Yeah.
It's a big,
Sorry to
big
anyone
ocean.
whose family is lost at sea right now.
Yeah, there's like, they will be coming home.
So that's a half point for Jill for dedicating to someone who has passed away. They said it looks good, but it might need more color. I have to assume they meant the bake needs more color because it was a red and green tree. I'm like, how much more color?
Yeah.
I have to assume they meant it was like pale.
Oh, yeah, I see. That did kind of confuse me, but then I was like, well, did they want like more of the red and green
Right,
over the cream puff?
I was like, this is a pretty colorful. Yeah.
But
no.
I don't know.
Maybe they wanted the cream to be like colored garishly.
Like
I don't know.
garland.
Anyway, they said it was, once again, this is Jill's thing, not wildly exciting, but really very competent. They said it was simple but effective.
Yeah.
This is the Jill.
Shoot
Jill
down the middle.
101.
Right, and she was like, and so am I.
Yes, exactly.
She owned up to it.
Yeah, she knows her brand.
Yeah.
She's leaning in. But I am like, I'm shocked she made it this far.
Yeah.
For being like just competently executing something very basic.
Well, I think it's because a lot of these challenges are just defeating people. So, but like if you do something competently while your competition is not doing it at all, I think you get to, it's a bunt basically.
Yeah. It's a. I guess what I mean is that it's like you look at someone like Dylan, who aims so high and executes so high, and that's why he gets handshakes. But to me, it's like, then why are these two in the same bracket? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How is Jill going to end up in the final alongside Dylan?
Oh, she's just going to lose.
Yeah, I don't think that will. But I also think, it's like, it kind of, for her, it's dependent on the prompt. It's almost like, in the more challenging prompts, if she does nail it, like, just kind of straight down the middle, does what they ask.
Right.
That's great, and then she can do that. And then in other ones where like the prompt is a little lower, like she's just not gonna maybe shoot the same height. So then, therefore, she'll lose in those rounds. So that might, I mean, probably just time will tell. But
time will tell. There are only 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Time is telling.
Yeah.
Time been told.
Time, it's told us.
The technical challenge was to make a banoffee pie, which they all seem to hate. I love a banoffee pie.
I don't think I've had one. Apparently, it's in Love Actually.
Is it?
They make like a joke about it being bad in Love Actually.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I guess it's just caramel and then banana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see that being pretty intense, but I mean, I'd eat it.
I love those 2 flavors are so up my alley.
Yeah, I'm gobbling that down with expediency.
With expediency.
With expediency.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone who makes it here in LA.
I know. Well, we'll have to go to the Spotted Dick place as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Get a couple of each.
Some sort of like British baker here who's.
I know.
If not, there's a hole in the market. Some Brit here in
LA.
LA.
Look, I know we say your food is bad, but the bakes.
The bakes are incredible.
Apparently.
There are worse bakes.
Yeah.
Look, I've been to Italy a lot. Italian bakes, not for me. Dry.
Okay.
Interesting.
Not sweet, not salty, just sort of there,
Oof.
Sorry to the entire nation of Italy.
I mean, say goodbye to those listeners.
The technical challenge, Paul gave them no real directions, just measurements. The method reads, in full, make the banoffee pie, decorating with the cream piped as petals in concentric circles to look like a large flower head. That is all they got. Eileen said, quote, he's so out of order. Which is very funny. And yeah, most of them have never made it before, so this was interesting. What else? Allison fell off the counter. We already talked about that. All right. In order from worst to first, here's how it went. In last place was Jill. She split her crust. They said her pastry was undermixed. The caramel was treacly. You raised your hand.
Cole's French Dip has a banoffee pie.
Oh, shit.
I love Cole's.
Let's
Me
go to
too.
Cole's.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
All right.
That might be dessert. That might be dessert.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm in.
yeah.
On the menu year round, or is that like
It
seasonal?
seems like it. Let me double check so we don't waste.
Okay.
Whenever
It's gonna be-
Banoffee is in.
What's the other
season.
place that's not Cole's? The other French dip place here?
Philippe's.
Philippe's. Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Philippe's fucks too. I don't think I've been in Cole's, but I don't think I've like had it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Philippe's,
I haven't had either.
really.
I smell
recommend.
a bang bang coming. You know what's ironic is I also have a Philippe's shirt that was
Yeah, we
given
gotta-
to me as a gift.
Oh, you like Philippe's?
Wait, I
Name your favorite thing on the menu right fucking now, bro.
I
would never
love
wear that shirt.
I love
That's
restaurants and I love merch, so generally,
Oh, yeah,
that's like a lot of people just end up giving that to me on like Christmas or birthday,
Fair.
and I love them.
And to be fair, for those listening, Mike is wearing a Kirkland signature sweatshirt
That's
at
right.
this time.
Not strictly a restaurant, but it is definitely merch.
Good.
I mean, look, it is. When I was a kid, we treated it as a restaurant. When I
Yeah.
was a broke ass kid, my mom would for sure be like, "We're doing lunch at Costco, and you
Yeah.
just go around getting as many samples as possible.
Throw it back. That's not what that is.
Do a shot,
But you know,
a shot
do
of chicken on a
Yeah.
toothpick."
Yeah, chicken broth, organic.
In fourth place was Ilyene. They said her pastry was overworked and it was a little clumsy. Her cream split in the bag, and you could kind of see it, and it ended up not mattering. They didn't comment on her cream, but they did say that it looked like a classic 1970s banoffee, despite it being tough. In third place, getting a half point, was Dylan,
But
but
you didn't hear?
Oh, so
It was the first soggy bottom of the season.
that's right. Okay,
Soggy
yes, yeah, I
bottom.
was about to bring that up. He did lose 1 point for a soggy bottom.
just canceling it out.
Yeah.
Come on, Dylan. Come on.
Yeah, so he is at net negative half point. I did write down the editor being kind of picking on Dylan in this section because they did 3 edits that I caught. Christian making the dough was like, you can't add too much water. They cut to Dylan adding more water. Everyone's like, I'm going to mix this pastry by hand.
Yep.
They cut to Dylan using a food processor.
Yep. I saw that one. I was like, well, I know how this is going to go.
And then everyone was piping a flour, and then they cut to Dylan going, I'm not piping a flour. I don't know how to do this.
Right, yeah, he did some zigzaggy different things.
And he still bumbled his way into third place.
Yeah.
I mean, he always does. Let's be real.
They did call it tough, and he got a soggy bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was just saying, Jill's always on the bottom.
Yeah.
Jill loves to be on the bottom for the technical.
That's her favorite
she
thing.
Just loves it. Yeah.
She loves missing an ingredient and
But
just
it's
ending up in the
okay.
bottom.
We still love her.
I found this fun tip.
Here we go.
I think I might oversell it here. But
It's
I
a
was
horrifying
looking at
tip.
this. I was looking at this like this Brazilian like pastry that someone made, and
Oh.
they said if you add vinegar when you're making caramel, it keeps the sugar from crystallizing, but you
Oh.
don't taste the vinegar.
Okay.
I don't know how much that is. I'm gonna have
I
to
would
look
have
at
to
the
imagine
recipe.
a very small
Yeah.
amount of vinegar.
But apparently, yeah, the vinegar keeps it from crystallizing. And I remember everyone was like, "Oh no, it's we can't let it crystallize." So I thought maybe someone was going to bring that tip up. So that is a tip for anyone listening at home. I will say for this, like caramel was like a candy coating.
Yeah.
So I don't know
It's like
if
a thick caramel, not
yeah,
like a
yeah.
drizzly sauce.
Your mileage may vary if it's like a thicker one.
Yeah.
But
I'm very curious to try this out because
Yeah.
it can't be a lot of vinegar. At some point, it's gonna start tasting like vinegar.
yeah,
I'm picturing the same ratio that, like, when they say in a disaster, like you can clean your water with bleach, but it has to be like the tiny. It's like you get a fucking bucket full of bleach and you put in, or a bucket full of water.
Don't mix that up.
You get oh no.
I know that you have erased someone's memory
be
now in a
careful.
disaster. Well, Mike said a bucket full of
bucket of
bleach.
bleach.
Yes.
A drop of water.
This is the only place I know to get my survival skills is this food podcast.
Yeah.
Thing we have this. All right, I got vinegar for my caramel and bleach for my water.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Vinegar in the caramel.
But yeah.
In second place was Christian, who earned 1 point in our league.
It
Poor
made me
Christian.
feel so bad for him because he keeps talking about always
Always the-
getting
Yeah.
second. Yeah.
Always a bridesmaid.
And
Yeah.
so when that happened again, I was like, oh, they're not leaning into it, but I know that stings.
Yeah. It's got to hurt to never quite be the best.
He's always up there, and he's obviously technically really good. His stuff always looks good, but it's he keeps getting kind of.
I thought about going back and counting because he was like, I don't know, it's been like 4 or 5 times. I was like, I could go back and count, and then I was like, that's just gonna make me sad.
Yeah.
I don't want
He
to.
doesn't want to count.
Yeah.
We won't count.
In first place, 1.5, Georgie, who doesn't like Banoffee or bananas, which is surprising.
Yeah, weird about the bananas.
Yeah,
Georgie, I'm really trying to, I probably should follow her social media because I'm really trying to scope her vibe out because she has those tattoos.
Yeah.
And she like wears the makeup, which, this is an M quote, not me, don't hurt. But it
Just
was
the messenger.
What
This
is
is coming from a fellow woman.
well, because she was like, makeup TikTok has said this, but like British makeup is like in the U.S. early aughts. Whereas like,
interesting.
if you notice like that they use a lot more makeup because I was noticing because I do notice as a man Allison's was very bronze in her makeup and I was like oh I feel like and I was more so going to attribute it to like a lot of hair and makeup don't know how to do black women's makeup and she was like no it's like a British thing and she was like you don't remember when we were in London and I was like oh yeah you did point that out that their makeup, like their style of makeup, is very similar to how the early aughts makeup was for us out here.
Interesting. I wonder if that carries over. I wonder if there's a 20-year gap every, you know what I mean?
That
like
makes sense.
in the 90s, were they doing sort of like 70s-ish makeup?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's why Dylan was wearing velvet. It's just
Yeah,
like, that's what was
I
going on
hadn't
in the
caught
70s.
up yet.
Yeah.
No, I clocked that too, that she has tattoos. I feel like there was maybe one other bit, I don't remember, where she alluded to something that felt a little alt. She was like, I love heavy metal or something. It wasn't.
Oh,
there
I
was
see,
something where she alluded to something in her personal life where I was like, I think she's cool.
Yeah, she's had a couple moments where,
Yeah.
the tattoos included where it was almost like, I think just sans tattoos, like long sleeves, she can come off like just I'm
mom.
baking. I'm a mom. I just come out and this
she's
is
always
my
wearing
family
like
recipe.
a polite like blouse dress. You know
right,
what I mean?
Right. Like she's got earrings on or something, right? And then it's like. Yeah, whoa, maybe she is something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's got some other stuff going on.
The archetype I can think of is not endemic to any specific geographical region in America, but I, for some reason, am thinking of my hometown of Las Vegas, Nevada, which has a lot of it, because, like, I'm in my 30s, and a lot of the people that, like, I went to school with are now moms, but they were, like, alt when they were younger. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of these girls that I went to high school with who were, like, punk girls, and now they are, like, moms. And they still, like they're like the elder emo, you know what I mean? Like they're taking their nice soft lighting like family portraits with their kids, but they also still listen to metal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that might be Georgie's thing.
That makes sense. Right, it's just that person but is older now.
She's definitely in her live, laugh, love moment, and I like this. She did not scrub her social media as she's come on the show.
Okay.
But she used this
Here we go.
This filter has taken over the nursing community like you've never seen before.
Oh my God! Yes, that is such a dead-on assessment.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Yes. Val is covering her mouth. So when you heard me say that, think of the filter you're thinking of.
You got it.
It is that
you
one.
You nailed it. Yeah.
It's very like Snapchat.
Yeah. It's like every nurse I've ever seen has used this filter. It's absolutely bonkers.
If they don't cover this on the upcoming sitcom St. Dennis Medical.
Yeah. Okay.
I do
look
feel
at
like
this.
Yeah.
Kind of got like a
this
alt vibe.
This is a thing that makes me be like, she is exactly my age, because that is like she is locked into like slightly elder millennial, not like 39, but like mid 30s elder millennial. That is so symptomatic of our generation.
This is a picture we'd see on Raya. Like.
Ooh, she got the short hair there. Yeah. There's a lot of things going on.
I may have to stop because I might try and break up a British family live on the podcast right now.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Like, I'm coming into town doing like my stand-up thing or whatever.
Wow.
Turn off
you've been
your
baking.
That was 3 octaves down.
Yeah, who is
That's
this?
incredible. Who is this?
God.
Yeah.
That's the Dom voice coming back.
The Dom voice. Dylan, take notes.
Cake. Dylan, take notes. But yeah, no, I will say that filter, the nursing filter.
Yeah.
Okay, this is dark, but I feel like I see it a lot on like missing persons. and I'm always like, why would they use that photo? But I assume it's the latest profile pic. It's horrible, but but it kind of looks like I don't know if I'm going to be able to identify them with those like hearts floating over their eyes.
Digitally widened eyes.
I know.
Yeah, I do know what you mean, though. Anytime I see a filter on a missing person, it's like, y'all have to,
there's gotta be another one.
to like understand this is not helping. They will not look like. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Can I use my augmented reality to place it on your face?
Here's a picture of the missing in question. We do have to advise our viewers at home. She is not yassified in real life.
Oh, God.
It's just the only photo on her private page.
That's a PSA.
Where were we? Okay, the end of the technical.
Yes.
We don't always talk about the mid-episode recap where they kind of like the hosts check in with the judges.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out that in this one, I don't know if you noticed, as they were talking, there were just banana splits on the table. Yeah. Am I the only one who saw that?
I don't know.
I was like, did they shoot this on a different day, or was it a midday snack where they were like, can we get more sugar?
Well, we had all these excess bananas and Victoria onions made a whole shit ton of
Our home
banana
economists.
splits. Yeah. So
2 of our home economists had nothing to do. So
it's like that's not even good set dressing. Ice cream melts. That's not going to hold up for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah. You have to do it in one take.
Yeah. And they did. And they used it. They're like, that's the take that's going in the final edit. Anyway, I thought that was weird. Okay, the Showstopper challenge is to make a gâteau with at least 2 tiers. Paul said it's all about the softness. I'm glad they explained the difference between a cake and a gâteau for the audience. Allison pointed it out. A gâteau could collapse because of all the cream in between the layers. You want it to be soft. We talked about using dowels to keep it all from sliding apart, which seems like everyone did, and we still got some slidage. We'll get to that. It is, and it was so That wasn't even the most stressful part to me. The most stressful part, which isn't endemic to this challenge. Is that the second time I've said endemic in this episode? Yeah. But it's like putting the second layer on the first layer. I'm like, have we not figured out a better system for this?
Their fingers are under there.
Fingers.
Yeah.
Like, to drop it, and it's like, indentations.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I also don't know. Yeah, if there's a better system.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There has to. I feel like someone is gonna point out like a TikTok and be like, "Look at this hack! You use cardboard or whatever." And
yeah,
I don't. Seems like the pros still just do this.
Yeah, just
thousands of years of human civilization. We haven't gotten past that.
You haven't figured it all out.
Because we've been making cakes forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
It's just flour.
There's got to be some
flour
sort of like
eggs.
little cake handle or something.
Yeah.
Do it from the top or something?
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Decorate over it.
Anyway, next time you get a 2-layer cake, just look for little indents at the top of the first layer.
Yeah.
I will say the cake I made was vegan, and I don't ever see a world in trying to make a bootleg vegan. I'm sure there's some big vegan bakes, but the cake is so dense.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not flour and eggs. I think I had to make vegan buttermilk. I used flour, and then I used like yogurt. I used coconut yogurt.
You should have brought it in.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of bringing it in, but I was like, I don't know if we'd like that. I mean, it was good.
I don't know if anyone would like it.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, but I was like, we're about to eat something real good, and then potentially maybe get a Banoffee pie if Coles has it.
That's true. Nice. Okay. Iliane made her peach melba gâteau with peach champagne raspberry. I thought this was clever. She said, I'm going to use ganache on the outside to sort of like seal it all in.
Yes.
Like Spanx, like keep it from sliding. I'm like, that's honestly pretty clever for a gâteau. Unfortunately, she split her ganache. Did not have any. Her second time splitting something this week, which is a bummer. Okay. I'm going to rule this is not starting over because she did not try to make ganache again. She said, I don't have time to make more ganache, so I'm going to pivot. I'm going to make buttercream instead. Yeah. That is a different thing. So to me, that's not starting over. No points there.
Yeah, and just for the non-cooking heads, when it splits, the oil has separated, and that's what that means. That's what Em explained to me when I was like, what did she mean by that?
There are certain, there are certain culinary terms where I'm like, I need a host to explain this to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even when they're, like, reducing a sauce, like, just through sheer repetition, I understand that means, like, cooking it down. But I'm like, reducing a sauce is not... if I had to guess, just on context clues, I would not guess that means, like, cook it out more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Like, take some out?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Okay. She pipes in the fridge. I felt really bad. Iliane's just, like, watching her performance in this challenge, it was... train wrecking so much. She's piping in the fridge to keep it cool. It's slanting real hard. She's like, I don't know why it's slanting. She has the dowels in there. It's still not helping. She rests her cake in the fridge. She opens the door. Cake has completely fallen over. It's
really
gone.
rough.
I'm going to rule did not hit the ground because it didn't.
Yeah.
It's inside of a fridge. Didn't hit the ground. But it did fall apart.
Yeah.
And that was a real bummer. She did cry, so that is a half point for Iliane there.
I even would go as far to say I think she broke down. I think British TV doesn't show crying the way American TV does.
Yeah.
Because if you notice when she was talking through it, it only cut to her dry face.
Yes, yeah.
It
but
not...
the sallow under eye part, you know.
Oh yeah, and you can tell just based on how they judged it, you can tell she broke down.
Yeah.
They were so delicate in a way that they usually aren't, even when people are feeling bad.
Yeah, I did think it was during the judging. They didn't comment on the look at all. They read the room and they were just "Hey, this is delicious." You know what I mean? That was kind of all they said.
Yeah, they're kind of talking around it, and I do feel like she and a lot of times when people have gotten big mistake leads to them getting kicked off. It's like they kind of have their it's over moment before they we've never had a huge surprise of somebody getting the bottom and you're crying there sometimes, but it's mainly it happens hours earlier. That was for her. She was having that moment and then later was all right, acceptance, and then here's the cake.
I do want to point out that Paul said it was a celebration of the tinned peach. Paul, as if we didn't all watch you shit all over Tin Peaches a mere week ago.
When he said that, I cackled, and
lost my mind.
That's when I locked in. Was like, yeah, they're trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I feel like that was his way of saying I normally would dislike.
Yeah. But you need a win right now. So I'm going to tell you, this is delicious.
This is a peach still.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Christian made his lemon, hazelnut, and advocat gâteau.
Mm-hmm.
The colors on this one. Insane. I loved the way this one looked.
Yeah.
The very psychedelic, like brown, orange.
Perfect for 70s. Looks very kind of like Georgie's earrings in this episode. Like,
I didn't clock Georgie's earrings.
I think they were kind of a similar thing.
I believe it.
You know, but that 70s look of like that, you could see that on people's, wallpaper and stuff.
Yes, exactly. It was very, like, literally psychedelic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way that they used psychedelic in the 70s. Like, far out,
Yeah.
She said it was, Christian said it was inspired by a cake that Grandma would bring around, a Dutch sneeuwster cake. I don't know if I said that right. I just went for it. Could not find any evidence that Grandma was dead, so no points there for dedication. He did explain what advocaat was, which is basically Dutch eggnog. Unfortunately, too boozy, even for Prue, which is saying a lot. Because we all know that Prue loves a boozy cake.
Yeah.
And they took a bite of this and they were like, whoa, that is simply too much.
Sure.
So now I really want to try advocaat.
Yeah. Let me get some of that.
Yeah. I want to go to the Netherlands around Christmas and get bucked up. They also said that the cake was like you put hazelnuts in it. It was supposed to be a soft Genoese, and they were like, you put a bunch of coarse nuts in it. That's not...
Yeah.
They're like, none of this is good, basically.
Oh, no. Poor Christian.
I know, because it sounds good.
Yeah.
And eggnog and hazelnut cake, I would eat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it missed the mark. And, but yeah, I do want to taste avocado.
Yeah. Paul didn't. I feel like there's another backhanded thing. Paul was like, sometimes we rely on you, Christian, to test us on flavors. I was like,
oh yeah. When he said that, I was like, God damn.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's like, when a teacher says that, it's like, this student really challenges me. And it's like, we know what that means.
He's been sent from God to challenge me.
Well, I think you can buy avocado.
Oh, now we're talking.
Well, don't worry.
Well, drizzle
Don't
over.
worry. It's on the way. Don't worry. It's literally at Total Wine and More. Perfect.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're in business.
Dang.
Next episode.
This I feel like every year I always try and find someone to get me a bottle of oh gosh, what am I? Of course I'm going to blank on the name now. Coquito.
Oh,
Thank you.
You make
coquito?
I make coquito.
Now we're talking.
And I want to say pretty decent, but I haven't had enough Puerto Ricans try it to confirm or deny.
Yeah.
But I will say I have a few Puerto Rican friends that have tried it and said it's good. So I will bring a coquito.
This was a thing that it was easier to get in New York. In New York, there's a much higher population of like Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. You know what I mean? It's just like it was easier. It was also easier to get like pernil, just like plantains, like any of that shit. And here, I remember being like, "Oh, I'm in the mood for coquito this holiday season." Couldn't find. I found one Puerto Rican restaurant like one year that was like, we made a couple bottles.
Yeah,
and that was kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
God, that is going to inspire me to. It was so funny because I have a friend who makes them too. So I'll let you know if he does it again.
Hit me up. Get me on that
list.
list.
I think after you kind of saying that, I think I'm gonna make like a big batch to give out to
Hell
people.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
If any Puerto Ricans out there want to send us a bottle, we'll take anything in the mail.
Because I'll go and make sure I get the like specific Puerto Rican rum for it.
Yeah, now we're talking. Okay, Jill made her Jeff's Cafe Gâteau with chocolate cherry mascarpone, dedicated to her dad, Jeff. And Val pointed this out. Family naming convention, possibly. Soft G names, Jeff, Jill,
Jill G.
Yeah, they've got a whole thing going there. When she took dancing classes as a kid, her dad cooked for everyone, made lunches. They called it Jeff's Cafe. So this is dedicated to Dad. That would earn a point, but we've already awarded her a dedicated to Dad point, so that's just one instance for the whole episode.
Big Dad episode for her.
I did really enjoy her shag carpet piping.
Oh, yeah,
I thought that was
great.
so cute
Came
and
out
clever.
really well.
Yeah, very 70s.
Yeah, I think the top was getting a lot of credit where I was like, I mean, it looks like it's just undone.
I was wondering about that.
Like everyone was
Sure.
very
What
much,
was that supposed to
very
be?
much was on top. Yeah, was it supposed to be something that we might have missed?
Yeah, I don't know if they left it out of the edit, but I did notice that too. I was like, I guess it's just an intentional.
Yeah.
Bear cake. Yeah,
Unfinished
I
top.
kind of thought maybe it should have been the shag thing again.
I agree.
But it made it take too long.
But what shag she did look good.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yes,
not
indeed.
much.
And Georgie made her, this isn't the end. Georgie made her vintage Black Forest Gâteau, chocolate, cherry, mascarpone. Same cake as Jill's, basically.
Yeah.
But Georgie's was vintage design inspired, like her auntie's bathroom. And we know that her auntie is not dead.
Yeah.
We saw the picture last week. Hers and Dylan's looked identical. I thought that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
They made the exact same cake from the outside.
It was wild.
Just that neon
Looks like a
green sort of pink. It's like, yes, I can see this in like a VFW hall in the
Which
70s.
almost makes me wonder if they got sent like a mood board.
Oh, interesting.
Like it was like, this is what like
And they're
70s
like,
pastries look like. And they
That
both
makes
were like,
sense.
that's the one.
I would believe that
Right.
because sometimes some of these challenges, they're like, we want you to make this thing that is not a common thing. And I'm like, surely they had to have sent them examples. Like, it
Yeah.
should look something in the ballpark of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like puppet theater. We always pick on the puppet theater challenge. But it's just like, what do you even mean by that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There
Right,
had to
right.
have been examples.
Yeah.
What kind of sturdy gingerbread thing? Or whatever,
Yeah,
'cause they all kind of
exactly.
did that, or like, yeah, this one. I mean, they just look like kind of props,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
cakes.
Okay, so they said it was great piping, lovely sponge, great flavor. They said it was very boozy. Georgie put a whole bottle of Kirsch into the cake, and they were like, it's good. And I was like, hold on. So when Georgie makes a boozy cake, it's okay. When Christian makes a boozy cake, it's not?
Yeah.
His was too boozy, I think, because I think she said I put a whole bottle and then
A whole bottle's...
and
How
then
much
he-
boozier could
and
his
then he
possibly
said,
have been?
didn't he say he put 3 liters? He said something like
Oh, I
3.
Yeah,
missed
yeah,
that.
he did say like
Okay,
a
and
that
lot.
then
does
I
sound
was
like a lot.
I think it's a
Yeah,
lot.
That's like a tres leches cake at that point.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, and yeah, so
That's a
I think
tres
What'd you
his
put,
was
Kish?
more.
Kirsch.
Kirsch.
Yeah. Cherry liqueur, I think. Now I have to look it up just so I don't sound like an idiot. Clear, colorless brandy made from Morello cherries, yes.
Okay.
Whoa.
So that was Georgie's cake, and I felt like Christian got cheated. Anyway, Dylan made a mint chocolate gâteau, looked exactly like Georgie's.
Mm-hmm.
Do Brits not like mint
Flavor?
chocolate chip flavor?
Yes.
Like this is the second thing they've been like, I really don't like it. I was like, what are we talking about here? What do you
Yeah.
mean you don't like mint
Mint
chocolate?
Mint chocolate is the
chocolate.
best.
Like it's
Yeah.
like toothpaste. I'm like, here we go again.
What toothpaste has chocolate in it?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
They were saying like, because I do wonder if you put a little bit of mint. Sometimes I'll make sometimes peppermint bark
Ooh.
Yes.
around Christmas, and you get the mint extract.
Yeah.
And that is like bam, so it really
Sure.
like if you add a little bit, it's kind of like you're bleaching your water, you're watering your bleach. You got to be careful. So I do think maybe it's like that can be super powerful if you're building it from scratch,
Okay.
and then they were really like already going in being like, oh, mint. So then
I know,
they
so
told him,
I-
like, it better be really
Because
chocolatey.
when they were talking, and I was kind of siding with him, where it's like they were like, "Oh, this tastes good," but like it was too much mint, not enough chocolate. I was like, I think you just don't like the mint, and I think
Yeah.
then you would use your critical thinking to be like, this
Dial
thing
that
I
back.
don't like.
Yeah.
I'm tasting it because I don't like it, but I can understand
Yes.
it tastes good.
Yeah, closer to how he judged matcha,
Yeah.
where he was like, I don't like matcha, but there's a good matcha cake. I can
Yes.
see how somebody who like matcha
Yeah,
would
what
like
flavors
this.
does he like? Man?
Yeah,
know.
I'm telling you, man.
really threading
If
the needle
anything green, he's like, I don't like the flavor.
too green.
Too much.
Spinach? Yucky. Ew.
Yeah, yuck.
No, I if you're British, please write in, because I got to know what the perception of peppermint... Like, we have peppermint everything here.
Yeah,
It's in
I
our
always.
candy, it's in our
Ice
ice cream.
I will
and
say,
that-
I
yeah.
always assumed Andy's was a British brand.
Oh, right, because
Right,
they do
yeah.
do the mint, the after eights thing. They were doing
Yeah.
that whole
That's
mint
right,
thing, and then
yeah.
I mean, and I wonder too, because it's like so we'll eat the whole. There are some people I know who don't like mint chocolate chip ice cream because they're like, it reminds me of toothpaste, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I was like-
so that's just you.
That's
like
a
you don't
you
like
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think you
That's
can
the
ever
same
get
as when
past
people
that.
are like, "Ugh, you eat ass, I poop out of there." It's like, use your brain.
Well, okay, hold on.
What
I don't think that's the same.
do you mean? It is. It's
it's basically the
it's
same.
associating. It's
Very nice
associating
one.
something because it reminds you to the other. Where it's
Fair,
like,
yeah.
this tastes
guess
like
so.
toothpaste.
You know what? You're right.
I just
shouldn't-
taste
No,
like-
don't side with him.
I shouldn't have so
No,
quickly
it makes
dismissed
sense.
that.
It
Okay.
makes sense because it's like, okay, toothpaste is minty. I don't like chocolate mint because that's also minty and it reminds me of toothpaste. It's like ass, we poop out of it. I don't like eating ass because I remember that I poop out of it. It's the association that
No,
you're using
no.
to discount.
Okay, I'm not smart enough to put this into words. It's gonna sound stupid. The thing about toothpaste is like
No.
it's not like okay. Toothpaste is mint flavored. It's not like mint is toothpaste flavored. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
mint is a thing that grows in nature.
Yeah.
We flavor toothpaste with mint, and we also flavor cakes with mint,
Yes.
right? And so if you're like, I associate with toothpaste, it's like, that's on you, because that's just what the plant
Yes.
tastes like. Ass
Is the origin of poop.
Ass is the
That's
origin of
fair,
poop.
yeah.
Thank you. That's the way to put
I
it.
see
Yes.
what you mean. Yeah.
Ass is the origin of poop.
Yeah, okay.
Toothpaste is not the origin of mint.
Yeah, okay.
Ass is the origin.
But it's
Yeah,
the
there we go.
association. You're thinking of the
Okay.
poop.
Yeah.
Well, you should be thinking about people having a good time.
Hmm.
Well,
If we made a T-shirt that said "ass is the origin of poop," would you buy it? Just if you would spend money on that, we'll make it.
yeah, did anyone
Yeah.
email us, by the way,
Or-
to know what we should be calling you, our
Oh,
fans?
Oh, right.
yes. Okay, a few people
Oh.
had suggestions,
Okay.
and they weren't bad, but I wasn't crazy about them, so I just never brought them
Okay.
up.
Wow. Wow.
I
Heard it here.
appreciate the people who wrote it. One person said, if you look up fantasy sports on Wikipedia, it's like fantasy sports, also known as rotisserie, which I've never heard
Whoa.
before.
Yeah.
But they were like, what if you called us like rotisserants or like roadie for short? And I'm like, okay, kind of stretching. You're
Yeah,
stretching
yeah.
to get there. Another person suggested cookies.
Ooh.
Well, okay, we're getting closer.
Yeah, yeah.
Warmer.
All right.
Nothing's really hit the nail on the head yet.
Okay. Fans of Filipinos. Yeah.
Love a
Okay.
callback to
Yeah,
last
good.
week.
Hey,
Anyone
yeah.
who's
listen, if
just
you're a
tuning
true
in for the
fan-
first
if you're a
time.
true
I know.
Filipino, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
But also, if we did ass is the origin of poop, I think we'd have to put it on sweatpants.
Of course.
Yeah.
It would
Juicy
also
couture
work
style, right
Yes,
on the ass.
Yeah.
yes.
Booty
Booty-
guys, booty shorts.
Booty shorts.
shorts,
That's
yes.
the origin of
Cute.
poop.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to make it. Thanks to Max Fun.
That's our pin.
That's our pin.
Yeah.
Ask the origin of
Nice.
poop. Great. Okay, we got to send an email quick. The deadline on that was like last week. We got to send an email
Did
now.
we send something?
Expedite.
I
ass
sent a
is
few
the
things.
origin.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, cool.
No, yeah, but we got stop the presses. Change it.
Yeah, we found it.
Yeah,
Ask the
yeah.
origin of poop.
Stop.
Okay. In their little talk back at the end. It's not a talk back. We have 5 minutes to get through this. Okay. They were like, Ilian didn't bin her cake, which is what you're supposed to do. So I clocked that as just like, because we've had a few people throw things in the trash and just not present anything.
Right.
They're like, she still presented it. That's what you're supposed to do. So if you're going to be on the show in the future, you can't throw it in the trash. You got to just show it.
I like that.
Yeah, I was thinking about this as we were talking about it, and I think what really kind of like did her in a little bit was that this is the same mistake twice because she had a structural problem in the first challenge and this one. So it's like, oh, it feels like you might be out of your element at this stage of the game, where if you couldn't figure out how to make two different pastries stable.
Or maybe she just can't make things tall. You know what I mean? Maybe she's like more of a flat bake person.
Flat bake.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A flat baker, if you will.
Tabletop
Yeah.
Baker.
They said in line for Star Baker was Georgie and Dylan, and our Star Baker was Georgie. Going home is Ilian. She cried again, but still, we already, awarded those points. Yep. She did say, at least you don't have to go and practice patisserie, which I thought was funny. That's a nice way to look at it. Be like, well, I'm done now. I'm free.
Yeah,
fair.
I know.
I'm free, Jeannie.
I know. I really felt bad for her because it really did feel like a rough week. And I think it's one thing to like make something they don't like, and it's another thing for it to just kind of fuck up.
Yeah.
Because I think if that thing kept its structure, it would have been.
It would have been
Christian.
amazing.
Yeah.
It sounded like.
And it would have been Christian going home.
Yeah.
But but this, I think, for my selfish purpose, still balances out. It puts you in the position you have two
bakers left.
2 bakers left. We have 1-1,
Yeah.
and who knows how close it is.
We'll get to that now. Let's go over our rules, which you can find on our Instagram at TB Chef Fantasy League. The technicals, Georgie got 1.5 points for coming in first. Christian gets 1 point for coming in second. Dylan gets a half point for coming in third. In line for Star Baker, getting 1 point apiece. Georgie and Dylan. Our Star Bakers, Georgie, that's 2 points. Christian started over, that is a half point. Dylan helped, that's 1 point. Dylan got a handshake, that's 2 points. Dylan had a soggy bottom, that's minus 1 point. Jill dedicated something to her dead father, twice actually, but we're still just going to award a half point there. And Ilian cried, that is a half point. So this week, I gain 1.5 points. Iffy, you gain 4 points.
Ooh.
Sierra, you gain 5 points.
Jesus.
I know. So as of right now, our leaderboard looks like this. I'm in last place with 28.5. I'm out. Barring a miracle, I'm just out. Iffy, you're in the middle with 33.5 points. Sierra, you're on top with 35.5 points.
Oh, it's still
It's
close.
You did widen the gap a tiny bit,
Right.
but it's only a 2-point lead. That
Yeah.
could go in an instant, in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
If I can get another Dylan Grand Slam.
You
yeah,
could.
Yeah.
It's like
he's pretty. He's strong.
He's definitely slated. Like, Ems looked at me and was like, he's going to the final.
Yes.
Like,
Absolutely.
And I also think they gave it to Georgie this time because they like almost couldn't give it to him.
I literally said to
like,
Em, I was like, for him to get a back-to-back, he would have had to kill it. Because I do think they try and balance it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like, and Georgie kind of crushed it this episode. I do want to give her
does
flowers.
now have 2-star bakers.
Yeah.
So that is it. We'll see what happens.
Christian gets a grand slam, though.
Look, it could happen.
It would be
flavors.
The most amazing story. Like, if next episode, the penultimate episode, he gets a grand slam and like Jill gets sent home and it's a Christian, Jill, Christian, Dylan, Georgie final.
Sure, yeah.
That'd be the closest we've ever been.
Yeah.
That kind of
Every final that we've had on this podcast has pretty much been it's Sierra's game.
It's a landslide. Yeah. No, this is the first nail biter we've had on this show, so I'm very, very excited. Hey, folks, if you like this podcast, please tell your friends, rate us, review us. You know how to support a podcast. But you can also go to MaximumFun.org/join and support us directly with as little as $5 a month. It goes a long way. Thank you so much for those of you who are already contributing. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, reach out to us on Instagram at TV Chef Fantasy League or send us an email at chef@MaximumFun.org. Let us know how your league is doing because we are now in the home stretch and we would love to know how you're doing. For full unedited episodes, you can check us out on YouTube. Thanks again to my co-hosts here, Kato and Iffy Wadiway. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye. TV Chef Fantasy League is a Maximum Fun production. Our producer is Valerie Moffat. Our theme song's by Dylan Van Auken. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at TV Chef Fantasy League.